So you want to heal as Preservation Evoker? Awesome. In this video we will be covering the talents, PvP talents, gearing, enchants, stats. We will cover rotation and how to heal, the macros I've been using, and then you will also see some gameplay, of course. So let's jump straight into the talents, shall we? Don't forget to catch me live every single day on Twitch, where I stream PvP solo shuffle on every single class and spec. Hang out, have a good time, join the community, and you can find me over at twitch.tv/Delumiaa. For the talents, this is the build I've been running all the way. I will of course be linking the spec down in the description. The only thing I've been changing is time of need. You might want to change for energy loop for getting the more damage and generating more mana when you get opportunity to do damage. Other than that, I think time of need is actually your go-to, like all through everything. For PvP talents, I've been running nullifying all the way every game, and I've been running scourging flame in every game. The only thing I've been changing is Dreamwalker's Embrace to Dream Projection in some games to get an extra dispel, and it's also good healing, of course. Other than that, I think Dreamwalker's Embrace against melees is awesome. For the gearing of the Evoker, I have been prioritizing a lot of mastery for the healing and versatility. So what you want to do is to try to get your foreset. I think foreset is awesome, and I am running with the head, shoulders, chest and legs. The foreset makes your reversion healing have a chance to cause your next living flame to be an instant cast up to 2 stacks. So nice when you get those procs. For the gems, I'm running mastery and haste all around, and for enchants I'm running speed on cloak, reverse intellect on chest, speed on bracer, Sophic devotion on my weapon, mastery on the rings, and I have mastery haste gem on my ring. And I crafted the Infurious Boots, giving me a primary stat when I do land a CC or interrupt, and it's very nice because you are going to get some CC and interrupts off as Evoker. So the boots are actually very valuable, I would say. Running speed on the boots as well. On the legs I have intellect and mana, and waist we have the shadowed belt clasp for extra stam, and that's the enchants and gearing, I would say. So I'm trying to get as much mastery as possible, and that's been working very good for me. So for the rotation and how you actually do heal as Evoker, it's very different from other healers. It's hard to, if you don't know what you're doing, it's hard to maintain your healing, I would say. Very much of a healing is actually about managing your echoes together with your assist is very important, and also your life bind is a golden heal. Utilizing Lifebind will make all the difference in the world as Evoker. So what I usually do when I heal on Evoker is that in the beginning of the game, I put Echo on my teammates, I use Stasis, and then I Dream Breath to put a hot on them. And when I do that, they're gonna get double the hot because they had Echo on them. What I then do is that I do Echo on one other, and then I Verdant Embrace one, and that will give a lot of healing to everybody in the team instantly. And then when that drops off, you have your stasis ready, and when you use the stasis, you're going to apply the hot and your life bind to all 3 of you, so you're all going to get the hot ×3. So it's a lot of healing instantly when you do that, and you are utilizing your lifebind. Your lifebind is always applied with Verdant Embrace, but the most important thing to understand is that when you echo someone, everything is doubled. So if I echo that one and then I Verdant Embrace my other teammate, all 3 of us will get lifebind. And if I have healing on that guy, like he has Dream Breath and he has 1 reversion, which is also a hot, and then I echo him and I Verdant Embrace my other teammate, he's going to benefit from all the healing that this guy already have, and so will I. So you're all going to share healing with your Echo and Verdant Embrace. Very important to understand and practice that. One other very big thing you can do with Stasis is that you activate Stasis, you Echo one, you Verdant Embrace the other one, and then you Spirit Bloom, and then you're gonna have one huge heal on your stasis. So when you stasis the next time, you're gonna Spirit Bloom and Verdant Embrace. So it's gonna be huge healing for everybody instantly, and that's a big one. Very effective to use as well. Important to understand hover. Hover will make you move faster. You can cast while moving, so what I do is that I hover and use my nullifying in the beginning when I have done my stasis. And also when you have a very hectic situation, you hover so you can heal while you're moving, because you have to stay very close because you have a lower range than every other healer as well. You have to pretty much be up in the action all the time. So hover is a very good, efficient way to get in and out of the game all the time. You can also use Tip the Scales to make like a big Spirit Bloom instantly or a very huge Dream Breath instantly. I usually do save Tip the Scales for my Fire Breath if I'm playing against a priest. So when the priest use PI, I Tip the Scales and Fire Breath everybody, because with the Scurrying Flame you will remove one magic effect per empower level from all the targets. So with Tip the Scales, that will be 3 magic powers that will be removed, because that's an empower 3 on the max level. So you can remove 3 magical benefits from everybody in the team with one button, and that's awesome. It's also very efficient against Resto Druids to remove the healing when you're setting up for a kill. What also happens is that everybody who is hit by the Fire Breath, including your team members, if you then cast Living Flame, it will cast on everybody who has been hit by the Fire Breath, and it will also heal your teammates for 80% of the damage done, split among them. So if you Fire Breath when they are stacked together, including your teammates, it will also put a hot that will heal for 80% of the damage done. And that's a huge hot as well. And you can cast Living Flame and it will apply to all of them. So you will do both healing and damage with Fire Breath and Living Flame. If you combine them, that's a powerful heal and damage. If someone is taking a huge amount of damage, you can always use Time Dilation, which will for the next 9.6 seconds cause 50% of the damage they would take be dealt over that time. So you can extend the time of the damage done if someone is doing a big burst on your teammates, for example, and that way you have time to heal them up. Big cooldown as well. Rewind is very good to save for late game, I would say. It will rewind 33% of all the damage everybody takes within the last 5 seconds and heal them for that damage instead. So that's a big heal to save for late game. Or if it's a big huge burst in the beginning of the game, it's also good to use very quickly for that. Another heal you have is your Reversion, which also doubles with Echo. So if I echo my teammate here and then I put Reversion, it's gonna add 2 of them instead of just 1. So that's one way to maximize healing as well. Same thing goes for Living Flame. You can always try to use Echo before and then Living Flame, for example, because that will cast 2 Living Flames. Or if you have Echo on that one and the other one is both are taking damage, you can Living Flame both of them by echoing one and casting on the other. If you get Essence Burst, it's also good if you are going to deal damage, or if they are stacked up, you can use it for your Emerald Blossom. Will make a huge heal for everybody standing inside of that if they are stacked up like this. That's a big heal, and that will AoE heal if everybody who's standing inside of the Emerald Blossom. The other very big heal you have is your Emerald Communion. This one can be casted while you're stunned, disoriented, silenced, whatever, and that one is insanely big healing, and you will also get 2% mana back when you are using that one every 0.9 seconds for 4.4 seconds. So you will get mana back, so it's good to save this for absolute emergencies because it's huge healing. So that one is important to save. You have your Cauterizing Flame for dispelling bleed effects, poison, curses, diseases, and it also heals them for 100,000 when you remove any effect. So it's a big heal. Against DKs, it's very efficient. It works against Shadow Priests when you use this one, you won't get feared when you remove the dots from the Shadow Priest. And then you have your Naturalize, which is your Dispel pretty much. Remove all magic and poison effects. So that one, Cauterizing Flame, will heal and remove poison, curses, bleeds, whatever. And then you have for magic effects, Naturalize is efficient against like snares and things like that. Very good as well is your Rescue. If you rescue, you will also put a shield on them. So it's very good if you need to get someone like a mage out of the fight and get an opportunity to actually heal them up as well. So that way you can put a small shield on them and get the opportunity to heal them up and remove them from the fight. Always remember in the beginning as well to put Blessing of Bronze before you start the game. It's just a buff to reduce the cooldown of movement abilities for all your party members. If you are getting trained, what I usually try to do is that I use Renewing Blaze. For the next 8 seconds, 100% of all the damage I take will be healed back. So that's one of the biggest saves you have for yourself. That will save you in so many situations. And combined with Obsidian Scales, which will reduce the damage you take by 30%. So I usually do that and use 1 charge of my Obsidian Scales, and that way I won't die when someone trains me. And I can hover away, and if it's a melee chasing me, remember to use your Assure Strike. This will slow them for 50% when you use that on them. So if a warrior is chasing you or whatever, you can always use your Assure Strike. You can also landslide them to make sure that they get rooted, to make it possible for you to get away. If you need to silence a caster or the enemy healer, you have your Quell, which is your interrupt. You also have your Sleepwalk, which is one of the best CCs you have. What I usually do is that I try to, in the beginning, I try to root people because they're usually running together. So I root them, then I deep breath them, and then I turn around. I use my Oppressing Roar, which will extend my Sleepwalk on them. So my Oppressing Roar extends the next incoming crowd control for 10 seconds. If you need to interrupt or remove enemies as well from your team, or interrupt the enemy healer, use your Wing Buffet. Very good to just push away people. You can also, if you're standing close to them, use your Tail Swipe, which will knock them up in the air and interrupt any cast. And it will also make them unavailable to move for the time they are in the air. If you get an opportunity where the team is stacked up together, the enemy team with the healer and everybody, in solo shuffle you can get really big momentum in the beginning of a game if you are running in fast by just landsliding them, deep breathing them all to stun them, tip the scales, fire breath, disintegrate, and then living flame them. That will be huge bursting for any team to handle. So that's a very efficient way if you don't need to dispel anything or remove like healing or PI in the beginning of the game. Then you can use your tip the scales, fire breath to do huge damage combined with your deep breath and landslide like that. It's a very efficient way to get momentum very quickly as Evoker, and it can actually, if you're lucky and playing a bursty setup, it can end a game in the first 10 seconds. But yeah, I think that pretty much sums up how you want to heal as Evoker. So it's very much about the Echo and your Verdant Embrace to apply Lifebind, and Echo before using any of your spells basically. So you can apply to everybody and you can double the healing by doing your Echo. Remember that if you Echo and then Dream Breath, that they will get double the hot. Very big healing. So don't forget that. And also if you Echo one person, you Verdant Embrace, and then you put your Spirit Bloom on yourself with just 1 charge, it will heal all 3 of you. So it's big healing by just doing simple things like that. That will double your healing instantly for anything you do. Macros I'm using on my Evoker, it's very basic. I have like 3 macros. That's it that I'm using as Press Evoker. And one of them is for my Obsidian Scales, and it's this one, to reset 2, which means that when I use it, I can't use it within 2 seconds again. So I don't overlap my Obsidian Scales, because you have 2 charges and you don't want to use them at the same time because they don't stack. So that's a perfect way to make sure that you don't, when you spam that button, that you don't accidentally use both of them immediately. Very good to make sure that you save one. I also have at cursor for rescue, so I can just where I have my cursor, I just target the one that I want to rescue, and then I put my cursor where I want to move them, and I don't have to do one extra button click to move them away. Very efficient in that way. And then I also have Verdant Embrace at player for myself, if I just need to put it on myself instead of targeting myself for using it. I also have the same thing for Living Flame to make sure that I can just use Living Flame on myself instead of changing targets all the time. But that's pretty much the only thing I'm using as preservation. I hope that you found this guide helpful and that you will find success in healing with your preservation evoker. If you found it helpful and you enjoyed the video and want to see more, make sure to sub to the channel, leave a like, leave a comment with what you think. Don't forget to catch me live every single day on Twitch, where I stream PvP solo shuffle on every single class and spec. Every day, hang out, have a good time, join the community, and you can find me over at twitch.tv/Delumiaa. And for now, I wish you all the best of luck. And here comes some gameplay where you can see how I do when I play Evoker in Solo Shuffle. Until next time everybody, peace. This might be a mage angle actually. Some serious damage right there. Yes. Yeah, that can be stressful to pug. No doubt about that.
Hydration is the key to performance.
Oh my god. What am I doing? Come on, you luck. Yeah, there we go. 1800 done. 4 wins.